Not able to hear anything. Excuse me, we can't hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
The instructor.
Yeah, sorry. Yaar. I thought that you people are hearing.
You have to do everything all over again. We didn't hear you when you were explaining the stability and speed.
Okay. Okay. Now you are able to see my notepad, right? Yeah. Like I'm starting from beginning. Performance testing, performance testing in terms of measure speed, stability, and scalability. Like speed. Speed means like when you are clicking on any button, how much time it is taking to load a page with the expected load or like a peak load. Okay, we can check that one. Stability means, like for example, like when we are doing the load, when we are doing the load test, like for longer durations, how the application is stability, like without degradation of performance, like when I discussed about the SLS, right? SLS, see, SLS is nothing but service level agreement. Service level agreement for each transaction, for each transaction, they will give, for each transaction they will give SLA. SLS means, see, for launch page they are expecting 2 seconds, maximum 2 seconds. For login they are expecting 3 seconds. For click transfer they are expecting 3 seconds. Like that they will give some timings for each button. Okay, when you are performing any load test, when you are performing any load test, the response times of each transaction should be in between these timelines only. If you are getting more than this, we have to do the investigation why it is taking. So here the performance are getting degraded. Okay, that one we have to do in speed. Okay, now coming to stability. See, for example, we are doing the load test with 500 number of users. 500 number of users. Okay, for 1 hour, it should be fine, no issues. Like all our transactions are within SLS. Okay, when we are doing for the 4 hours or 5 hours, the application should be in good performance. It should not be like performance, there is no, like we should not see any performance issues or degradation. Okay, see, performance should not be degraded even after using the application for the longer duration. Okay, when you are doing longer duration like 4 hours, 5 hours, our performance of the application should not be degraded. Okay, next will be the scalability. Okay, scalability means, see, now we are performing with fine number of users. In future we get a chance to do the load test with 700 number of users. That time also performance of application should not be degraded. See, application ability to handle the increase user without performance degradation. For increasing the user, stability and scalability. Now, now we can discuss about the types of, okay, discuss about the types of performance. There are so many types are there. First one
I
will
think
be the
I
test.
think your internet is very very bad. I don't know about other people, but it's like you are fainting away. We can't hear you.
Sorry.
Your internet is very bad. We can't hear you. It's like your connection is poor.
Your voice
Everything
is
is
breaking now, sir. Sometimes it's
Okay.
breaking.
Sometimes. Okay. Okay. Types of performance testing. Will be the load test. Now it's clear, huh? Now it's clear my voice.
it's better.
Hello.
It's better now. but it's still
Okay.
weak, but it's better.
Okay. Stress test. Okay. Third type will be the endurance. Somebody calls soak test. Somebody called duration test. Okay. Fourth will be the spike test. Okay. Fifth will be volume test. Okay. Sixth will be the failover test. Okay. And will be the smoke test. Okay. Somebody will do this some average load test also. Okay. These are all. Now we can discuss about load test. Load test is nothing but check the application behavior. Check the application behavior with, we got one application. Okay. Banking application only. We have like 3 or 4 scenarios. For example, now we have fund transfer. Okay. Like that we have one more scenario, like view statement. Okay. View statement. Okay. Third scenario will be the pay bills. Okay. These 3 scenarios we have to do the scripting and we have to do the performance load test. Okay. Now what we need like number of users. With how many number of users we have to perform the load test for these scenarios. Okay. Let us assume the client given. Okay. Load. Here we like I highlighted, I said some load we are putting peak load. Okay. Peak load sense some load. Here load will be the, just assume 500. Okay. This number will given by the client or business team will be provide the detail. They will give some inputs like not exact number of users, like they want to be like reach the 10,000 request in our duration, in 1 hour duration, like that they will give inputs. In later classes we can detailly we can discuss about what is exact count we can get it from the client, what are the inputs we will get it. Okay. They will give 500 number of users. Okay. Now duration, for how long we have to do the load test. Load test should be 1 hour. Okay. 1 hour steady state. 1 hour steady state. Steady state means, see, the users will be ramp up slowly and they will here user 1 will started. Okay. At this point user 500 user was reached here, this point. From here to here 1 hour, and then users will be drop. This will be the ramp up. Okay. This will be the ramp down. Users are ramp down. This state will be the, this line will be the steady state. Okay. This duration should be 1 hour in a load test. Okay. In load test, what is the purpose, main purpose of the load test? First of all, we can check the application behavior when the peak load is are executing. Okay. How is response times? How is CPU utilization is going on? Identify whether the application can be handle that peak load. I said find a number of users, right? That find a number of users the application is able to handle or not. Okay. What is the response times? Observe the behavior of the application in terms of response time. What is the response time? What is the response for login? What is the response time for fund transfer? What is the response time for pay bills? Those things we have to check it. Okay. And what is the CPU and memory utilization? When find a number of users are activating, like doing activity here, right? How is the memory and CPU utilization? How much consume? Load test. That thing we have to identify, and we have to find out is there any bottlenecks. Okay, any bottlenecks is there, we have to find. Okay, this load test is very important test for like for every application. We have to perform load test first of all. Like once you got any project, anything, first once your scripting is done, we have to perform the load test. This is very major and important test. Okay, if you identify any issues in the load test, we can't proceed like next test. We have test, duration test, step test, like that. So many tests are right. For example, we got high response times for the fund transfer. Fund transfer. We have to fix it first of all, that one. Okay, or like we once we fix it, we can run one more run, and we can see response times are within SLA. Then good. Then only you can proceed for the next test. For example, you saw any memory issues, like you see memory utilization went 70% with these users, like with this load, with find a number of users. We have to fix it. Like either we have to change the configuration, those things we have to fix it here. Then only we can proceed for the remaining test. Okay. Any doubts in this load test?
No.
Okay. Going for next test will be the stress test. Stress test means, see, like determine the performance on application at more amount of load than the load test. See what we said in load test, we are performing the finite number of users. So in stress test, the main aim of stress test is find out the break point of the application. Breakpoint of the application. See, till with how many number of users your application can be handled. Till what number of users your application can be handled. Okay. Like first load test, right? Load test we are performing with 500 number of users. Not what now what we can do for test is we can increase like 50%. 50% means 750, and then increase one more 100%, like 1,000. Okay, now we can increase 125%, 150%, and we can increase to 150 like 200%. At certain point, the users, like the users will not get any response from the server. Okay.
We can't hear you again.
You guys
We can't.
are not able to hear me.
Yeah, we can't hear you anything.
Okay, like till from when load test you people are here.
Yeah, from this stress test.
From stress test onwards you are not able to hear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. My main aim of stress test is to find out the application breakpoint. Okay, find out the breakpoint of the application. Here, right? For example, we are doing the load test with 500 number of users. Okay, 500 number of users. Now, with 500 number of users, you are like responding very well, and your memory utilization and CPU utilization within expected. Now what we can do, we should know the capacity, like in future like any load or unexpectedly load came, what will be happen, whether your application can be handled or not, till what number of users, your application can be handled. Those things we have to find out, right? For the purpose we can do the stress test here. Okay, first we can do like keep on, we can increase the users. First we like 50 users, and then after 10 minutes see like this 500 users. Now I can increase one more 100. 10 minutes, again one more 100 users. 10 minutes, again one user, 100 users, like that I will keep on increase. Okay, till this point, till here, right here at this point might be here 700 or 800, application will be breakdown means your application will not be respond when user clicking on login button. You didn't get any response, you didn't get any response, like it will be throw error like 500 error, 503 error, those things, like getting some time to load a page, like 2 minutes 3 minutes, like it will be take. So we can consider that is your breakpoint of your application. Okay, for example, so at 700 your application is getting break, so we can take 600 as a peak, and we can check the response times. We can check as the response times. How is the response times at the 600 users? What is the CPU utilization at 600 users? And what is the memory utilization? What are the response times? Those things we can check. See, I can say one example. I can say one example. Like in your, like we have a one hotel, one server, like one helper will be there. We have a 5 tables. Like once five tables are there, 5 customers are went and ordered. For everyone, only one helper. Five tables, only one helper will be there. Okay, here like everyone ordered, like the helper will deliver the food within 5 minutes. After a few days back, what happened, the owner, and the demand, they increased two more seats, two more tables. Now we got 7 tables, helper is only one. Okay, now seven people order the food at a time. Now how much time it is taking for the helper? It will be take 15 minutes to deliver the food for 7 tables. On the demand next day, the owner will increase 2 more tables, 9 tables. Okay, now what will be happen? The delivery time will be taking more than 30 minutes. Okay, see, for every increasing the resources like tables, the delivery time is taking more time. Okay, like that after few days they delivered, like they increased 2 more tables till like 10. Okay, that time the helper told, I can't deliver the food, I'm leaving. Why means like they, I don't have time at all to serve the food. Okay, here right, 7 is the like break point of the helper. Till 7 he can serve, but with a poor performance, not a good performance. Good performance is till that within 15 minutes, 20 minutes was the good time, like with a good performance. Now with 7 users is serving, taking 30 minutes for the for each delivery. Means how much time, like it's, they are giving very bad poor performance. So here is the 7 is the breakpoint of the helper. Like that we have to find out the breakpoint of the application, till what number of users your application can be handled. Okay, any doubts on stress test? No doubts, huh?
I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we are testing the stress test, when we are doing the stress testing, so we are increasing
Mhm.
the load. But
Yeah.
if the CPU utilization goes above 90% and still the application doesn't crash, so should we increase the load or not?
Till 90% means definitely it will be crash, very like you will get very bad response, like more than like it will be take more time na. We
Yeah,
can't
but the
increase the
application
load
won't
there.
crash actually.
Yeah, it won't be like till 90% means you are not like you are not getting very good response.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like we can before that only like around 80% we can put as a breakpoint of your application. You can't put more on that. Your CPU relation is 90% means it's already reached maximum. You can't increase.
Oh,
Better to don't increase any load.
okay.
Okay, see, the main purpose of the stress test is like application can be handled the future load. In future if you get any more load, how it will be like handled, to find out the application breakpoint. Okay, in like I noted same so like response times of the future load, like I we said in 500 number of users is peak load, it is 2 seconds. For this 700 or 1000 numbers, what is the response times? Okay, we have to find out that one. And what is the CPU and memory behavior, is there any issues, we have to find out. Okay, what are the errors, type of errors, percentage of errors, those we have to find out. Okay, next, spiked endurance test. Okay, endurance test is main aim is application stability, to find out, like here if you observe right, performance testing measured in this in terms of stability. Now like here right, in this endurance test we can find out that stability, how the stability your application. Sorry, for longer duration. Okay, here longer duration means some of application will be execute 3 hours. Okay, somebody execute 3 hours, 5 hours, Somebody will execute 8 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, 2 days. Okay, like that they will execute. Okay, why means we have to know it this 3 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, how they will consider. It's totally depends on the application. Okay, depends upon the most of the applications will be the 8 hours only. Most of the applications, like they will do this on it, like soak test or endurance test or duration test will be 8 hours. Okay, very rare for the 12 hours, 13 hours. If you are doing any banking applications, they will do like 24 hours also. They will perform 24 hours also. Here, why? What is the importance of the endurance test? Okay, see, for example, just we are running the 5 hours test. Okay, what is the response times of application? First 1 hour to 1 to 2 hour. How is the performance? Performance sense of like response times, CPU, memory, how it is with within 1 hour, like 1 to 2. Okay, now 2 to 3. Same, we can check the response times. How is the response times? How is the CPU? How is the memory? Okay, okay. Next will be 3 to 4. Same response times, memory, and like we can check it. 4 to 5. We can check for every interval. Every interval we can check the how is the CPU and memory. See, for example, first 1 hour response times will be the seconds. With like 2 to 3 hours, response times are good. Same 2 to 3. When coming to the third hour, we are getting 4 to 5 seconds. Means after 3 hours, you are getting some deviations. We have to identify why it is taking more time. Here, right, what we did same load. For example, assume load like given load will be the 500, like 1 to 2 hour at the 1 to 2 hour, first 1 hour the load will be the 500 only. Second 2 to 3 hour load will be the 500 only. 3 to 4, 3 to 4 also 500. Like load is also like constant, but our response times are getting deviated, right? So we have to identify why at 3 to 4 you are getting very poor performance are getting degraded. Okay, the main aim of performance testing is like endurance test is memory leak, to identify the memory leak. In future classes we can discuss what is memory leak. The main purpose of endurance test or soak test or duration is there any memory leaks in your application? Okay, like we can find out is there any really have any memory leaks. Like sometimes we will get it in load test also, but some of the applications for the longer duration we can identify. That purpose only we will execute, and we can know the stability of your application. We will perform the endurance test, soak test, duration test. See, find out the memory leaks in the server at user load duration. See, the duration will be like this, like ramp up, and it will be very long duration. not a 1 hour, it's like 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, like that. Okay, sustainability of the application, we should know the your application sustainability to identify the memory leakage. Is there any memory leakage in our application? Like during the response times, during this longer duration, is there any spikes in the response times? I said like first 1 to 2 hours it was good, 2 to 3 hours it was good, 3 to 4 it was like we got very bad response, right? Why we got spikes in the response times? Yeah, like to assess how the check the resources of CPU and memory utilization. Okay, this is the importance of, like in every test, very important, in every like application we will perform the soak test. Any doubts in soak test?
Yeah, one doubt, like how much user load should we put for endurance test?
Yeah, sorry, forgot. Like it's here, right? It's totally depends on the application. See, for example, we have the uh, find a number. We did load test with the find a number of users. For coming to the endurance test, most of the people will use 75%. 75% of users from the load test means like around 250 300 number of users we can perform with the soak test. Okay, but some of the applications they will implement find like with same load, like load test. We are doing the load test with the finite number, right? Somebody will implement same load in the soak test as well, like 62, somebody will be like 70 to 75% they will use. Okay, got it, huh?
Yeah, and how to identify memory leak while doing the test?
Like that will be the very big session, huh? Like later we can once we did any load test, like we can put one
Okay.
session for that one.
Okay,
It's not a simple like single word we can easily find out memory leakage, huh? It's a very big session.
okay, we can discuss afterwards.
Yeah, next will be the spike test. Spike test means how the application perform when sudden load like increased on the application, suddenly increase or decrease both. Okay, see if you see in this graph, see till here, right? It's like very few users are there. After like 10 like 20 15 minutes, suddenly they spike the number of users till 500. This time in this interval, how the how are the response times, how is the CPU and memory utilization? Those things we have to find out. Is there any deviations? Okay, any errors, server errors are we are getting, how many transactions are getting failed, those things are find it. Suddenly we can increase the users again, and we can see if you example, if you know like any e-commerce applications or Amazon or Flipkart, there will be sales at like every Friday 12 p.m. like that till 11:55 54 the number of users will be the around like this only, the users will be like those only. Once the 12 p.m. it came, like 12 p.m. is came, suddenly the users will be increased like this. The sale will be around 10 to 15 minutes only. Then the users will be dropped like this. Okay. Then we like what happened here, suddenly the users are coming into the application very huge. We should know how much time it is taking to navigate the page. Is there any server errors? How much CPU utilization is there? How much memory utilization? Those things we have to identify. See, determine of application at a sudden user load. Okay, sustainability of the application at sudden huge load. Identify the deviation of response times during the spike load. See here it was spike very maximum number. We should know, like we have to identify how much response are deviated. Okay, if suddenly increases, there is chances to failures also. We should note like what are the errors we are getting, what are the failures. Okay, those things. How much CPU utilization when it is users are very less, when it is the users are coming into very high, what is the CPU and memory utilization. Those things we can find out in spike test. Okay, here the load will be the different. We can't say like constant number. Here for example we are doing the load test with the load will be the 500 users. Load test we did. Here coming to the spike test we can do, suddenly we can increase 800. Okay, after that you can put some 1500, and suddenly you can came again 200, like that randomly some numbers. Okay, we can perform like that. Any doubts in this spike test? Okay, next will be the scalability test. Scalability test. See, scalability test also is there. Volume test, scalability. Scalability test is like to know the future load. Future load, how the application behave when in a future, how it will be behaves. See for example in load test we are doing load test with the 500 number of users, but client will come and ask like in next month, next year, and ask you next year the users. Okay, the load will be increased 400% or 500% like that. Just assume. Okay, for example any banking application, any e-commerce application, like what will be happen, right? In COVID time, so many people are going to the banking physically. Once COVID time, like nobody is going to not going to any physically, right? Everyone is trying to use the applications. That time suddenly the users are now like coming more as expected. In low test we are getting 500. In future might be they will get some into 5000, 5000, 10,000 like that. That time we don't know whether how application is being. You can perform one load test with the 200 users, 2000 users, and you can share the results. But in this test, right, it was fail. we got all failures. Might be some reasons like it can't be handled your application. We are getting all errors. Now client will be ask you at what time, what is the what is the results for the 300 users, like 300%, 300%. Okay, at that time you don't know, right? You don't know, right? We didn't perform any load test, we didn't done any test for the 300% of users. We did only directly went for the 400. You don't know about the 300, you don't know about 200%. So before doing any direct, don't target with the 400 number of 400%. Gradually you can try to increase the number of percentage. Okay, like with 5, now it is 100%. Now you can give 200% here, and this test will be the here, this is the 20 minutes duration. Again you can increase one more 100%, it is 300 here, and again it will be 20 minutes duration. And in this duration you can check all, how is the response times, how is the memory, those things you can check it. Now it will be the 400. Okay, now it will be like this. Now if client will be asked at the 400%, what are the errors you got? It failed, like all the users are getting failed, no response we are getting. Now we can share the details about at 300 point our application can be handled 300 number of users. Okay, this is the response times, this is the CPU, this is the memory. Okay, this thing. But what will be happen now if they want to be increase, like they want to be a target 400 users, like at immediate solution will be the like change the configuration of the servers, like CPU, memory, they will change. That will be the like instant solution for that one. Okay, that is scalability. We did scalability right here. First we did with 100%, we got very good response times. Now we are doing with 200 number of 200%, we are getting like good response times. At 300% we are getting like some deviation, but results are good, not very bad. Okay, so like if you want to increase like one more 100% is, you can we can say, sir, till 300% our application can be accessed like stable, we are getting very good response times. Till you want to be reach the 400%, can you please upgrade your configuration of servers, like that we can say. Okay, this is called as a scalability test. See here, if you see here, see how we perform, like step by step we can increase the users. Intentionally we are breaking the application, intentionally we are breaking the application there in stress test. But in scalability test we are not breaking the application, we can just check the capability until what number it can be we can get the good performance. Okay, any doubts in scalability test? Okay, coming to the volume test. Volume test is nothing but DB test. Okay, like it's like as the same as a load test only, load test only, like it's the same as load test. Volume test is nothing but same as load test, but we are inserting the huge use data into DB. Okay, here also load will be the 500 as what data we implemented, like same as load test. See, for example, we are doing the load test with 500 number of users. Same count, same load will be take for the load test as well. Some for the volume test. Okay. Now duration also 1 hour. Okay. Here right, see, now we are doing the load test with the 500 number of users. For example, in DB we have data, we have record. In DB we have records around 50,000 now. Okay, we are getting very good response times and memory, everything is good, your application was good. Okay, in future, this 500 number of users are in real time, this 500 number of users will doing some activity in the application. That time they will do some some activities directly, some data will be go and insert into the DB, right? Like in future, after 6 months or 1 year, what will be happen? Your records will be the more than 2 lakhs in DB. Okay, that time you want to know how the application is behavior. See, earlier it was only 300, like 50K only. Now it is, we in DB we have 2 lakhs data. Now it's taking like sometimes maybe, see, when like generally you can think it in your mobile, or you, if you have a 50 images in your gallery, like it will be open very fast. If you have 10K images, it will be take some time, right? So behavior, how it is responding, the main aim, like here, right, we can focus on SQLs. If you know SQLs, DB SQLs, how SQLs within how much time it is taking to execute that SQLs in the server, DB server. Okay, see here, right, intentionally we can insert some data while doing the load test only, we can insert some data in DB. Okay, and it with a, like the data how we can insert with, like we have to take it from the DB team, high DB team, we are planning volume test, like we have to insert some data, like you people will do the load test, like that time only the DB team will like directly do some insertions in the same table. Okay, they will some activity at the same time, you both DB team and you both are doing parallel work. That time you can check how the application is behaving. Okay, like in future you don't know how much data in DB database there, like more data, how it is responding is also important, right? So that is the purpose we are doing the volume test. The main focus on SQLs, how the SQLs are performing, how much time it is taking. If you have any APM tools, we can easily identify like in which table, how what query taken, how much time they can easily identify. But right, this volume test is like very rare, very rare, like not regularly we can do it, very rare. Any questions on volume test? Okay, clear. Now failure discuss, like failure test we can discuss in a later class. Smoke test, smoke test is like just a validation. See, we got three scenarios as discussed earlier, we got three scenarios, we got these three scenarios. See, we got these three scenarios, right? We did perform like scripting one. We are planning tomorrow morning. We are planning to do the load test. Okay. What will happen tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. You have to run the load test, but we can't run directly load test. Like what will be happen, right? We don't know whether your script was failing. Is there any due to some deployments? If without like informing you, the development teams some do some activity. They will some deployments, latest code like that. If without knowing you, okay. If you directly went and you can run the load test, what will be happen? All tests like all scripts will be fail. Okay, that time, right? And see some your application, all servers are up and running also, you don't know, some functionalities are all failing. How can you know? Like you have to manually check the every flow, business flow, that fund transfer is working fine or not, view statement is taking view statement is working fine or not, payables is working fine or not. These things you have to check it every business flow. Like it will be take a time, right? So before going any load test, you should perform one smoke test. Okay, the smoke test is just validation purpose. Validation the scripts and server application up and running or not. Okay, here, right, the load for this user, like a smoke test, it will be very minimum, like 2 to 5 users we can use it. Okay, somebody will use only one user. Okay, depends on 2 to 3 4, like that they will use. Okay, duration will be the like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes. Like purpose is just validation whether the scripts are working fine or not, and of our your system, like your application is up and running. Okay, just to validation we can perform the smoke test. Any doubts in smoke test? Okay, no doubts. See, coming to the average load test. The average load test is like this one also very rarely they will execute. Okay, it's a like with average load how the application is behaving. That's it. Like in load test, right, we are doing the load test with the finite number of users. Like here, right, how the application behaves with the average load, average number, average peak load. Okay, now we have the 500 users. Now we took around 60% as a average load, and we can check, like we can do the load average load test for 1 hour duration, and we can check the response times, CPU and memory. Okay, these things we can identify. This is about the average load test. Any doubts? Like tomorrow I can tell about the failover test. Before going to failover test, I need to tell some architecture, like 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier architecture. Like you should know the, like we know the about the servers, like what is app server, what is DB server, what is web server, so what is load balancer. These things we need to discuss. Ask me like if you have any questions. No questions, sir. If you no questions, like we can drop.